Hey everyone, it's Mike from Destinations to Travel coming to you live today from Disney's Coronado Springs Resort as we continue our Walt Disney World Resort Hotel Spotlight. We are continuing our task of getting out to every Walt Disney World Resort Hotel this year. We are getting pretty close to the end. I think we have about 6 left, maybe 7 left after this one. So if you have not been following along, you can go back on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/D2Travel, to check out. Maybe we've already gotten to your favorite Walt Disney World Resort Hotel, and if not, we will be getting there soon. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we got out to a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. We had the 4th of July weekend 4th of July holiday last weekend. So we got out to Magic Kingdom and showed off the 4th of July fireworks. If you missed that, again, it is on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/D2Travel. So you can go back and check that out. But today we are here to take a walk around Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. We are right out here by the bus loop where we always start things off. You can see a Magic Kingdom bus just pulled up. So the main lobby for Coronado is technically over there, but with the opening of Gran Destino Tower, which I only recently realized was already 6 years ago, over 6 years ago at this point. And that feels crazy because it still feels so new to me. But Gran Destino Tower is where you would check in regardless of where you are staying at this resort. So we are going to start by walking into Gran Destino. We will talk about everything that this tower has to offer, and then we'll make our way around the rest of the resort. So let's start moving in here, as we have a little bit of a walk to get up to the main lobby. And again, Gran Destino Tower is a relatively new addition. Again, a little over 6 years ago at this point, which feels crazy, but beautiful, beautiful addition to Coronado. Really makes this resort one of my favorites. I'd say quietly one of my favorites. Like, I have it, you know, if you've been following along with these videos, I love just about every Disney World hotel. But I would say this is like top half, and I think that's not the case for a lot of people. I really love this resort. It is beautiful. There's a lot of really good food options, and Gran Destino is fantastic. So we're going to head in there right now. Again, I'll show you where the main check-in is, and then we'll talk about a little bit what the rest of this tower has to offer. Unfortunately, we won't be able to head up to the top floor because it's a long elevator ride, and in video we'll just cut out so you guys wouldn't see anything anymore. But we'll talk about all the things this tower has to offer. Let me catch up on a couple comments before I head inside. Hi, Patty. It is a beautiful day. It is hot out. But we are in, middle of July in Florida now, so. All right, so it's the main lobby of Gran Destino Tower. And again, this is the main check-in for Coronado as a whole. And this is one of my favorite lobbies of any resort. Hi, Steven. It is just beautiful. So your main check-in, you'll have the desks to the right as you walk in. And then you'll find all sorts of guest services, cast members hanging around if you need any help. But this is just an absolutely stunning lobby. And then you've got technically the first floor. You walk in on the second floor. The ground floor down here is where you'll find Cafe Barcelona, I believe is the name. That is a little coffee shop, cafe. We might as well hang out right here and just discuss. Because if you were going to go up to the top floor, you can head over to the elevators right over there. And that is where you would find Toledo, which is the signature restaurant of Gran Destino Tower. It is fantastic. I've only eaten there once, and it was actually right when it opened. And it was really, really good. And right across from there, you will find the Dahlia Lounge, which is a nice bar and lounge area. I'll finish on Dahlia. It provides some really good, unique cocktails. So if you're, and some small plates as well. So if you're looking for that sort of experience, you'll find that again on the top floor of Gran Destino Tower, right across from Toledo. Both Toledo and Dahlia Lounge provide beautiful views of Disney's Hollywood studios. And there's actually an outdoor sort of balcony area for Dahlia Lounge that you could head out to. And if you're out there at night, you get a nice view of Fantasmic. I know Fantasmic isn't really like a traditional fireworks show, so it's not, it's not like a view of Magic Kingdom or even Epcot, but it is still a really nice view. And you can see the Tower of Terror right in the foreground too. It's really cool. Let me see. I had a question here from Steven. What is your favorite thing to do in this resort? My favorite thing to do, honestly, it's going to be a different take. Being a local, from somebody who's coming, on vacation, there's all sorts of entertainment offerings. All the pools obviously are great. There's some really great restaurants. My favorite thing to do at this resort and so many other resorts is just walk around because they are just really beautiful. I love walking through this lobby. I love walking around the lake, which we will do in just a minute here. And there are some great restaurants here too. Three Bridges is one of my favorites, so definitely love to eat here. But just walking around this beautiful resort on a nice day. Right now it's a little bit hotter than I would like, but if you're here in like early, like in the spring, if you're here in April, maybe even May, or if you come later in the year, like, November, December, really nice to just walk around this resort. Jack says beautiful. Natalie says love this view. Yeah, again, this is one of the most beautiful lobbies, and it makes sense that it is right now, I believe, the newest lobby, right? Am I forgetting something? I guess technically Island Tower over at Polynesian is newer, but that's not the main lobby of the Polynesian. This is the main lobby for Coronado. Again, this is where you would check in regardless of where you're staying. And we will walk through the old lobby here in Coronado in a little bit as we make our way around. But again, I wanted to show you guys this lobby and talk about the restaurants at the top of Gran Destino Tower. But now let's head downstairs. And again, we mentioned the cafe down here. You can see it's just really, really beautiful. It looks like the cafe is not open right now. But I love the furniture and everything down here. And you can see you can get cocktails here. And you see breakfast is served from 6:30 to noon. And then Barcelona is open from 3 p.m. to midnight. And they are a full-service bar. They do have beers on tap. But again, this is also where you would get breakfast and coffee and things like that. I just love the stained glass behind the bar, too. Like I said, I love the furniture in here. This table is really, really impressive. And again, so this is really all Gran Destino Tower on its own has to offer. And again, those restaurants are found at the top floor. I would recommend both, grabbing a drink at Dahlia Lounge and then getting dinner at Toledo. But we can't head up there because the elevators will just cut the stream out. So let's head outside instead. And this does connect to the rest of the resort. Before we head outside, I'll just show you guys there is a walking path indoors here. So if you want to save yourself a walk in the heat, you can go this way if you're going closer to your room or maybe the restaurants. But we're going to head outside. Let's see here, a sign letting you know meeting rooms, guest services, and then the restaurants. I also really like this lawn area outside Gran Destino. So you can see some guests playing cornhole. There are some, there's giant chess, giant Connect 4. Oh man, I am already missing the air conditioning of the lobby. If you're visiting, and if you're watching this, you're probably somebody who has visited Walt Disney World in the past, or at the very least wants to visit Walt Disney World. But it's Florida in the summer. It's going to be hot. But yeah, this is, I would say, my favorite thing about this resort is just walking around this path that takes you all around. And there are a few different paths you can go. We'll take the bridge over there to show you that is Three Bridges, one of the restaurants. It's just a beautiful resort. And then again, here's a look at Gran Destino Tower from the outside. It is A very big tower. I have been in one of the rooms before. They are beautiful. Obviously, again, they are very new. Well, again, a little over 6 years old, but relatively new to the rest of Walt Disney World. Very, very nice. There are suites available in Gran Destino as well. However, the biggest suite in Gran Destino only sleeps 6 people. So if you do need a bigger room, there are suites in Coronado that sleep up to 8. So that's the biggest you'll find here at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. Steven says Gran Destino looks beautiful. Yeah, again, it's really, really nice. And the nice thing, too, is you don't necessarily need to stay in Gran Destino. Like, you could stay anywhere at Coronado, and you're still just going to be able to walk over to Gran Destino and use those lounges, those restaurants. Of course, you don't need to be staying at Coronado at all to use these amenities, but it is nice to just be able to walk over and enjoy Gran Destino Tower. So we're going to head this way towards what used to be the main lobby of Coronado Springs. Coronado, again, is a pretty big resort. There's a lot of ground to cover here. We're not going to make our way to every section, but there are 3 bus stops, not counting the one up at the front, I believe. There are 3 other bus stops. There are also 3 pools. The main pool area will be right over there, but there are 2 spread out with some of the other sections of rooms. So again, like we've seen at so many of these resorts, you don't necessarily have to go to that one big main pool area. If you are staying far away on the other side of the resort, there is typically a pool there for you. And again, just love the views around this resort. I think Disney's landscaping is always beautiful, but I think at this resort in particular, it's allowed to take on a little bit of a different look and theme. And so it looks really nice. Before we head inside, let's just take a quick peek at the map here, and I'll show you guys here. Here's Laguna Bar. It feels like a pool bar, but there's no pool right here, so I guess it's technically not. But so we are right outside the main lobby area, and you can see this resort does cover a lot of ground. The dig site is the main pool. There is the Three Bridges restaurant, and then here is Gran Destino Tower, where we just came from. So we've walked over here. This is a convention resort, by the way, so there's a huge portion of it that is just convention center. Unless you're coming here for a convention, you wouldn't have to worry about any of that at all. But every other section here, these are all rooms, the casitas, ranchos, cabanas, and then of course Gran Destino Tower. So let's head inside to, again, what used to be the main lobby area. So this previously would have been the main entrance. And again, really beautiful lobby. I love the fountain in here. And we will head into Panchitos, which is the gift shop, and then head over towards the restaurants. But this was where check-in would have been prior to Gran Destino Tower. And again, even if you were staying in one of the other sections of the resort, you will still check in at Gran Destino, which I think is something you want to do anyway, because that is a beautiful lobby. And so coming off of that main entrance, or former main entrance, we'll make the left into Panchitos. Of course, one of the Three Caballeros. And we do have some Coronado merch right up at the front here. This is specifically Gran Destino, actually, on this shirt. We've got some coasters. Actually, I have their own lug bag. Although, actually, I don't know if this says Coronado in any way. Oh, it does. It's on there. And you got a mug. Yeah, Steven, like I said, I think this is also a very beautiful lobby. But Gran Destino is definitely a step up. We've got a tumbler. We've got a rocks glass. There's a nice collection of merch for Coronado. There's a wine glass here for Villa del Lago, which is where you would find the Three Bridges restaurant, which again we will walk out to in just a little bit. We've got an ornament. luggage tag, magnet. Pretty extensive collection. This is still not even all of it. We have more t-shirts over here. You've got a blanket, a throw blanket. Oh, this is really soft. This is nice. And this is not priced. We got a polo shirt. We got a Via del Lago t-shirt. There's a hat here. Man, I wish every resort had this big a collection of merchandise. There's a nice quarter zip here that, again, is very soft and nice. And then a towel. So, and then, of course, this is a full gift shop. You'll find the rest of your Disney World souvenirs, as well as like a convenience store location if you forgot anything or you need any snacks or anything for your room. You can find that in here, as you can for every Walt Disney World Resort hotel in their gift shop. Now, coming out of Panchitos, we're going to go left. You can see towards the convention center and restaurants. And before we even get anywhere, you got Cafe Rick's here. This is where you could quick grab and go, some pastries and things like that. You can get your coffee here. Those donuts look very good. Looks like you got chocolate croissants. And again, just like other grab and go items here. Some other snacks. But we'll keep going because I know Rick's, the sports bar and grill here, is a fan favorite. And I've actually only eaten there once, and it was for breakfast, so I haven't gotten the full Rick's experience. Oh, it smells so good over here. El Mercado de Coronado is the main quick service dining, sort of cafeteria option. And that's to the right, Maya Grill. More of a signature restaurant. And then you've got the convention center ahead. And then, of course, back to the lobby and the shops. But right in front of us here is Rick's, the sports bar. Which, again, I need to try for, like, the full experience. Because I've only done it, actually, for breakfast the morning as we were getting ready to leave for a Disney cruise. So it was a kind of different, quick experience. But you can see tons of TVs around. It is a very popular option. And, your typical, like, sports bar fare. And, of course, right behind me is El Mercado de Coronado. And we'll pop in here. Plenty of seating. Again, this is sort of your cafeteria option here at Coronado. And set up very similarly to the way you'll see just about every other Walt Disney World Resort hotel. So you got separate stations, you got a bakery, you got a grill, you got pizzas. You have a bowl station over there, which is a little bit different. You don't typically see that one. I do like trying these sort of quick service cafeteria options in the hotels because they do have different offerings at the different hotels. So it is nice to try out, all the hotels have a different theme. So they have food that fits their theme. So, for example, my favorite to this point, I haven't tried all of them again, but my favorite has been Port Orleans French Quarter at Sassagoula Floatworks. That's my go-to quick service as far as the hotels are concerned. Oh, let me make a quick left over here. Again, we've got Maya Grill. This is a table service restaurant. I've actually never even been in here. I'm going to peek in as much as I can here. Let's see. Very fun themed table service restaurant that is obviously not open right now. Let me see, did they have the hours up here? Currently closed daily from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it is dinner only here at Maya Grill. You're gonna have to try that one. The problem with trying Maya Grill is Three Bridges is one of my favorite restaurants on property. So if I'm gonna come to Coronado, I'm probably gonna go to Three Bridges. And that one is the same, only open for dinner. And I believe opens at 4:30, so a little bit earlier. Speaking of, let's head out onto the bridge. towards Three Bridges and Via del Lago. And again, just one of my favorite walks anywhere in Walt Disney World. This is just a beautiful resort. There's also a lot of like nice, quiet, less traveled areas in this resort, and I'll try and find one of them for you as we're walking around. So the naming can be a little bit confusing, but this little platform in the middle of the lake is called Via del Lago, and the restaurant itself is called Three Bridges. So it's Three Bridges at Via del Lago, and the reason is because there are three bridges connecting to it. So pretty self-explanatory there, but very, very good restaurant. I've only eaten there once, maybe I did twice. Can't remember, but it is very good. Highly recommend it. If you're going to be staying at Coronado, or even just staying on property anywhere and you have a day where you're not going to be in the parks, I recommend getting dinner here. I mean, there's a lot of great restaurants on Walt Disney World property. So many to choose from, but this is a good one. I did have I want to say it was a smoked blackberry whiskey sour, maybe? You can see it is closed for a private event right now. Again, they don't typically open until 4:30 for dinner, so. But yeah, some really creative, fun, delicious cocktails here too. I'm gonna head to the left, and I think we'll do a little bit of a lap as we head back up towards Gran Destino Tower. We'll wrap things up on the beach, the nice view of Gran Destino. I don't know if you can really see in the video, it's kind of far off there, but there's some green umbrellas up ahead. That's one of the other pools. So again, there are 3 pools on property here, as well as 3 bus stops, not counting the one all the way up at the front where we started today's video. So with these resorts being spread out, as you've seen in some of the other resorts if you've been following along, they do typically offer multiple pools and multiple bus stops, so you don't have to walk all the way up to the lobby. Because, I mean, I'm gonna get out of the way of a golf cart here. We are already pretty far away from Gran Destino, so a little bit of a walk. But again, you don't necessarily need to make that walk if you're getting on a bus or heading to a pool. So these are the casitas. So those are just the names for the sections of the rooms here. You will find your studios and things like that all throughout, but then there are some suites and things available. And again, the biggest suite in this resort sleeps 8 adults. And we did post earlier in the week about the room types. You can always go back and find more details right here on our Facebook, or ask your Destinations to Travel advisor. And if you do not have a Destinations to Travel advisor, you can head to d2travel.com. That's D, the number 2, travel.com. Or you can send us an email at info@d2travel.com, and we can get you set up with somebody today. So this is sort of what I was talking about, these courtyard areas that you'll find around the resort that are just nice and quiet, really beautiful. I mean, this is stunning. Like I could show you guys a picture of this, and you would never know we were at Walt Disney World, right? I mean, everybody has that picture in their mind of what they think Walt Disney World is, and it's not this. And there are, as we've been seeing throughout our Walt Disney World Resort Hotel Spotlight series, there's a lot of spaces like that. Especially Port Orleans Riverside was one that, really takes you out of what you think Walt Disney World is. But I think this is another one. It's really just very different, quiet, beautiful. Not that Walt Disney World isn't those things in other places. I mean, quiet is probably not a word typically used to describe Walt Disney World, but it's just a different feel. So, a lot of people will think that you can't get a relaxing vacation at Walt Disney World. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to rush around to the parks and try and hit every ride, then sure, it's not going to be a relaxing vacation necessarily, but you can have a relaxing experience if that's what you want, if that's what you're looking for. And I think Coronado is a great place to sort of start that type of experience. And again, if you joined late and you have no idea what I'm talking about with our Spotlight series here, we have been getting out to every Walt Disney World Resort hotel this year. So we've been out to most of them. We still have a few on our list. So you can head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/D2Travel. Again, D, the number 2, travel. And you'll find these replays of these live streams from all of the hotels. If you don't see your favorite on there, we might just not have gotten out to it yet. For example, my personal favorite is Wilderness Lodge. We have not gotten there yet, but we will. So throughout this year, again, we'll get to every Walt Disney World Resort hotel. And just to explain a little bit further too, on top of the live streams, we are doing this on our Facebook all week long. So if you missed it, on Monday, we posted a sort of an overview video of Coronado Springs. We then take a look at the room types available at this resort, then the food and dining options at this resort. We then talk a little bit about what makes that resort special. So this one is Gran Destino Tower. And then we culminate with the live stream and allow you guys to see it in real time and ask your questions and just sort of get the full experience. I do want to mention too, as we are out here behind the casitas, you can see there is parking. So you won't necessarily have to park all the way up at the front and walk to your room. If you are coming here with a car, there is convenient parking around where your room will be. Which for me is a big factor as a local. You know, I'm going to be driving to these hotels. So really nice to be able to park right by your room. But again, if you go back on our YouTube channel, you'll find the live streams from every Walt Disney World Resort hotel that we've been to. The only exception there is Pop Century. We had some technical issues and it just decided to go ahead and delete that live stream. So we don't have that one up there. We'll probably get back out to Pop Century maybe early 2026. Take another walk around. And here's another area right back here over in the Ranchos section where, I mean, you can tell the difference, right? Like, it's so quiet back here. And this, again, the landscaping and the scenery is just beautiful back here. I will say they actually do a very good job at this resort with shade as well. Right now, of course, I walked out into the sun, but I haven't felt overwhelmed by the sun this entire walk, which you can get at some resorts. But this is beautiful, and again, transported, you don't feel like you're at Walt Disney World anymore. We are just going to come up into this opening here and we're going to turn around, make our way up towards the beach by the cabanas with a nice view of Gran Destino Tower, and that is where we will wrap things up. But this is one of my favorite areas of this resort. I love this. There is another nice area over by the casitas on the other side of the resort where it's just a nice big fountain in a courtyard. It's nice and quiet. So if you do have that Walt Disney World vacation and you don't have that go, you're up at, whatever, 7 a.m, rushing out to the parks to rope drop every day. This is a nice resort to just sort of take things slow. Maybe you want to just hang out in one of these courtyard areas, read a book. Typically in these resorts where there's multiple pools, the main pool area is the loud one. That is where the activities are happening. It's where all the kids are. The other pools tend to be a little bit quieter. They're not necessarily quiet pools. Like, you're not going to have pools. I believe Riviera might be the only one that had a adults only pool. I could be wrong about that, but typically those other pools are going to be a little bit quieter just because they're not going to be as busy. So if you want to relax by the pool for a little bit, you could always go to one of those. Let's see, we got a couple comments here. Melinda says, so glad to see the sun shiny out there. It is a beautiful day out. Again, it's hot. I wouldn't mind a little bit of cloud coverage, not so much sun, which actually it's not too bad right now. We do have some cloud coverage. But yes, it is, again, beautiful day. What do you like about the houses, Stephen asked. So I've actually never fully stayed here. The rooms are nice. Grandestino, again, beautiful rooms. Those are the newer rooms. Really, really nice. The other rooms around the resort are still very nice. They're, I want to say recently, again, recently is all relative, but somewhat recently renovated. So they're very nice rooms as well. And again, there's a lot of convenience to this resort. You can park right outside your room. There are pools spread out. And again, you have a really beautiful walk to Grandestino and the restaurants and all of that. Bus stops by the rooms as well. So there's a lot of nice things about this resort. And again, this is the backside of Via del Lago and Three Bridges, the restaurant there. You can see the other two bridges connecting to that restaurant. And on my left, we've got the dig site. This is the main pool area. So you got your pool bar over here. You got a volleyball court. This is where you'll have the activities team doing all sorts of games poolside. It's also one of the coolest themed pools of any Walt Disney World Resort hotel, and you'll see in just a minute here. You got the big temple with the water rushing down. I believe water slide over there as well. And there's sort of a playground over here. But this is a busy, well, probably the busiest we've seen a pool during this entire Spotlight series. But again, really, really cool themed pool area. You can see it is a busy day. It is a hot day. So a lot of guests here in the pool. You got your cool themed playground over here. The arcade is over here.
Over there by the bathroom. Right there, me.
Here's your playground. You got shuffleboard over here. And then we also walk past Siestas, which is the pool bar. So definitely, this is a fun place to be right now. This is definitely the busiest area of the resort, which is not surprising. Again, it's a very hot day. And again, you got a volleyball court over here. Again, probably a little bit too hot for that today. They do have hot tubs. Which, by the way, if you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, if you're staying on property, a lot of the pools do offer hot tubs, and it might seem crazy, like this is not something I need in July in Florida. But when you spend 12 hours walking around Magic Kingdom, the next day, that hot tub can do a lot of work helping you recover from that. So just a little tip. I definitely recommend building in a pool day, a day to just enjoy your resort and to recover because it's a lot to walk around those parks all day. I know how tempting it is to just be in the parks all day, every day, open to close, getting every attraction twice, but sometimes you just need that day in between that really makes the vacation. So again, it's a nice view of Grandestino Tower. We can see the rest of the resort to the right and behind me. But we are going to head up to the beach on the left. This is over by the Cabanas area, with a nice view of Gran Destino to wrap things up over there. So if you have any last minute questions about Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, feel free to drop them in the comments now. Another cool thing about this resort is that it is in the Animal Kingdom area of Walt Disney World, which is, you know, there's not a lot of hotels in this area. A lot of the hotels are Magic Kingdom or Epcot. I guess this is technically Hollywood Studios area. That's obviously right across the street. But you're close enough to Animal Kingdom as well that if the wind blows just right on a quiet day, and you're probably more likely to hear this when you're out in the parking lot and not hearing the music, but you can hear the Yeti growl, or I guess roar, scream. I don't know. What does a Yeti do? But you can hear that from here, and that's really cool. It is definitely hot out, by the way. As we've been making this walk around, I'm just sweating more and more. So prepare for heat if you're visiting anytime soon. You can see on this sign here, it's let you know the dig site, the pool area to the left, bus stop to the right. So if you're staying over here in the Cabanas, you don't have to go to the bus stop where we started today's video on the other side of Gran Destino. You can head right out here. Ooh, what is the best spot in Coronado Springs? That is tough, because I really, really I love those quiet areas that I pointed out. I love Three Bridges. Very good restaurant. I think my favorite spot, though, is going to be up at Dahlia Lounge looking out at Disney's Hollywood Studios, because you don't get that view in a lot of places. So it's a really cool, unique offering to just go grab a really good cocktail, because they have some very good drinks up there, and look out at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Very cool experience. This could be another one of my favorite spots. I mean, this beach, if I was actually staying here, if you're staying at the Cabanas, just walk out from your room, walk down this path and lay in a hammock, looking up at Gran Destino. This is a really nice spot to hang out. Speaking of, this is where we are going to wrap things up. Let me get you a nice view with the hammock in here. How about this? How's that? That looks good. If that doesn't say vacation, I don't know what does. Maybe just add a little like frozen cocktail or something. But that's going to do it for us today from Disney's Coronado Springs. Thank you everyone for joining me on a Saturday afternoon. We are going to get back into the swing of things with the Walt Disney World Resort Hotel Spotlight. Again, we took a couple weeks off. The 4th of July holiday weekend kind of threw us off there. But you can always go back and see the 4th of July fireworks on our YouTube channel from Magic Kingdom, as well as from the Island Tower over at the Polynesian, which was a really unique, fun view. Recommend checking that out. Again, youtube.com/D2Travel. We have a lot of different content over there. So head over there, subscribe. Check out all the fun stuff we've got going on over there. And again, if you want to start planning your Walt Disney World Resort vacation, you can head to d2travel.com or send us an email at info@d2travel.com. I know it's July. Feels weird to be talking about the holiday season, but Disney just dropped a promotion. You can save up to 20% off of your Walt Disney World Resort hotel stay this holiday season. So if you want to come out here, check out the holiday offerings, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays, maybe Jollywood Nights over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. November and December, select nights, select hotels, but a lot of availability for this promotion. So again, you can save up to 20% off. It depends on the resort you're staying at, but up to 20% off your hotel stay is really, really nice. Plus, if you're buying 4 days of park tickets, you can get a promotional card for shopping and dining worth up to $100. So really nice promotion going on for the holiday season. If you have not been out to Walt Disney World for the holidays, I can't recommend it enough. It is so, I mean, a Disney vacation is already magical, and it somehow takes it to a new level. So Really, really fun experience getting out here to for the holidays. And that promotion makes it a little bit easier. So again, d2travel.com, or you can send us an email at info@d2travel.com to start planning that Disney vacation. Let me see a couple comments before we wrap things up. Melinda says, the Zen spot, thanks for sharing. Yeah, this is, again, just a really, really nice spot. Might like a little bit of shade. I'm kind of cooking on this sand right now. Sheila says, never been to this resort. Highly recommend it. It is beautiful. One of my favorites. But that'll do it for us. Again, one more time, d2travel.com, or send us an email, info@d2travel.com. That's d2travel.com. Keep an eye out for our next live stream. It won't be that far into the future. Hint, hint. We had some fun stuff going on this week. So thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye.